So this is a speaker meeting, and my good friend Jan M. from the Netherlands is here to share his experience, strength and hope with us tonight. And I have asked Mark to introduce this man.
Thank you. Hello everybody, my name is Mark and I'm an addict. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to announce the next speaker. I had the pleasure to meet him, I think, approximately 1.5 years ago. I don't think I've ever met somebody so blunt and direct as he is. I mean, we Dutchies are direct, but Jan is experienced for taking it to the next level. But always available and always willing to help until he's not responding anymore. And unfortunately, we also had to experience that. And I think that's the first point where within the relationship with me and Jan, we have like a local home group in Horen, where we have like a weekly dinner, and we have just a small meal like a kebab or some fries or a snack, and we do it always together with a group. And Jan already said for a couple of weeks, yeah, I'll be there, and he wasn't there again. But he was living like next door, so we decided to go there and bang on his door. And fortunately, he opened and joined us in a meeting. And ever since then, Jan is here, and I've seen him change tremendously. But I prefer to leave the story up to him. So I would like to give the word to Jan himself.
Hi, my name is Jan, and I'm a grateful member of Cocaine Anonymous. It's an honor to speak here. Told my story a few times at meetings, but at the World Convention, well, Louis van Gaal would say that's another cook. I'm going to try to tell you what it was like, what happened, and how I recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. I think it already started when I was born. As a kid, I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of other children, always playing outside, had a lot of friends, but I always felt alone. I felt like I didn't belong here. It was like I was walking a few steps behind them, and that's how I felt all my life, until I found this fellowship. When I went to high school, still had the same feeling. I was about 13, 14 years old, and I discovered that when I took a few drinks, that feeling was gone. I was always very shy and insecure, and that was gone. I dared to talk to women, and I always thought that it was really normal the way I used alcohol. But later, when I entered my first rehab, I discovered that it wasn't completely true, because I always drank faster, more, and when everyone was going home, I went to the next bar where I saw some lights burning. And I think I was about 20, 21 years old. I studied in a city called Groningen. And I discovered cocaine. And I don't know how to describe the feeling that I got when I first took my first line of cocaine. But I think it was something like, that was the feeling I was looking for. I don't know the time frame, but I used to do a few times. But before I knew it, I took it every day. In my last year, I had to do an internship. And I thought, well, maybe I got a little problem with cocaine. So if I do the internship in a different city, then my problems are solved. So I went to Utrecht. I think, yeah, now it's going to be fine. I think on the second day, I knew exactly in the company we was using. And my first weekend, I had the phone numbers of 5 dealers in my phone. I rented a home. After the internship, they offered me a job. I thought, well, that's nice. But the using, again, was daily. And all my money was going to cocaine. Sometimes I called in sick for work. But later on, I thought, oh, I just don't show up. They can guess I'm sick. And I also discovered if I didn't pay rent, I had more money to buy cocaine. The guy I was renting the house from, he told me I had to pay, or he would kick me out. And I thought, well, that's not going to happen to me. That's what I believed all my life, you know. That's not going to happen to me. At first, at the job, they told me they don't wanted me to come back. So I didn't have a job anymore. And the guy did kick me out of the house. I was completely surprised for what's happening to me now. I think I was about 26 years old, and there I was, again, back at my parents' house. And that's when I realized, oh, I made a complete mess. I need to fix this. How can I fix it? Yeah, I got a solution. I need to find another job. I find a girlfriend, live with her together, and my problems are solved. So that's what I did. But again, not the problems were solved. I moved to another city again, found some coke dealers again, and the story repeated. So I'm going to move fast forward to a few years later, because what happened was I used cocaine, get fired, find a new job, get fired, and so on. Then a few years later, my mother called me. My father had discovered he had cancer. And again, I thought, well, that's not going to happen to me. He will be fine. He was later in the hospital. I got a phone call, you need to come now. It's not going to end well. I thought, now? I don't have time. I was completely high. So I was really irritated. I had to go to the hospital. And I stood there. And the only thing I could think of, and I don't hope it's going to take very long, because at 12 my dealer stops, so I need to be home before that. My dad passed away. I was standing next to his bed, and I was texting my dealer, please put some grams in my mailbox. It was the only thing I could think of. Then, I think it's about 9 months after my dad passed away, we discovered also my mother had cancer. But I was always borrowing money from her. So I thought, well, I can't make it to ask for money now again. So I promised myself I'm going to stop asking money. She's sick. I need to be there for her. But yeah, I needed 500 euros. So I did ask her again, and that would be the last time, I promised myself. And I also thought my mom didn't notice that. But yeah, that was wrong. She said, your story, it doesn't make sense. I give you the 500, but you come to me and explain what's really the problem. I said, yeah, okay, Monday I'll be there. It's Monday morning, high as fuck. I thought, no, not today. So I went 2 days later. but she was at that moment too far gone, so I never had a chance to talk to her anymore. That evening, she passed away, and after that, I started using more. I was using a lot, but it was possible to use more. And that was the moment I found out that I need to do something about this. I thought, yeah, maybe I need to go to rehab. But the only thing I was seeing were problems. I thought, yeah, when I go to rehab, I have to tell my boss, and then he will fire me. And then someone told me, he said, well, if you go on like this, you sure will be fired. I think, oh yeah, it happened to me a lot of times before. So I went for an intake at the rehab with a cocaine problem. And it was a 12-step rehab. And they said, yeah, you need to also need to stop drinking. I said, what? No, I don't have a drinking problem. I thought, well, but they say, yeah, are you up for that? So I thought, well, if I say no, they won't let me in. So I said yes. In that clinic, I heard for the first time that there were meetings from different fellowships. I only knew AA from movies, but I thought, well, yeah, okay, if that's what's going to work, I'll try it. And I went straightly after I came out of rehab. I went to my first meeting. I relapsed a few times in the beginning. But then I finally discovered, well, if I do a lot of meetings, I can stay clean. They also told me I had to find a sponsor, so I did. But it was in that other fellowship with their own book, and it felt like homework doing the steps. So I did just a little, but I managed to stay clean for 3 years. But still, that voice in the back of my head, it's so bad I can't drink anymore. And one day, after a meeting, I thought, well, maybe I drink only tonight, don't tell my sponsor, and go to a meeting again tomorrow. So I did, but it wasn't it wasn't only one night. That one night took 2 years. And again, everything repeated. Got kicked out of my house again. All my money was gone. And I didn't know what to do anymore. I was again homeless. Well, I manipulated my ex-girlfriend. I could stay on her couch. And that first night, I took her bank card and bought some cocaine. I thought, well, I can do that. But I just didn't know what to do. I thought, well, okay, one more rehab then. And I went to Scotland for 10 weeks. And after that, here in Holland, they call it a safe house. It's like a sober living house. Well, they said, maybe you should go there. I think, yeah, why not? I don't have a house anymore, so it's nice. They have a house for me. That really went well. And after that, I found a sponsor, and I thought, well, I want to do the CA program. When I started reading the big book, and I learned about the allergy, and then I finally discovered what the problem is. I always believed that I was insane. Sometimes I still believe that. So I started working the steps again with my sponsor. But yeah, there still was something not I felt uncomfortable. I had those doubts in my head. When, for example, my boss says, "Do you have a minute?" My mind, oh, now they're going to fire me. And those things I didn't talk about. I thought I managed that on my own. But the only solution I know of was using again. And then I was using, and Mark mentioned it already. It was Tuesday evening, the evening of my home group, and I heard the doorbell. I thought, oh, fuck. I knew we were standing in front of my door. He said he finally opened. It took 20 minutes before I opened. And as far as my memory goes, I didn't go that evening to the meeting with you guys, but I came the next day. My sponsor said, I know why you have so hurry to go inside. You have some left. I said, yeah, I have. But that was the last time I ever used again. My sponsor said that this is your last chance. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., I pick you up. We're going to do that step 4, and now you will be completely honest. And I did. And that really was a solution for me. And also, next to the steps, he said, maybe you should get some professional help for your self-image. And I also did that. And that really worked well. Not that I'm completely turned around, but it's getting better. You know, when I look in the mirror, I can think, well, I'm looking good. Maybe a nice example. My core belief is always I don't belong here, no one likes me, and that last Christmas we had an event with our home group with a very nice speaker all the way from Tilburg, and there was this girl. I talked with her for a while. I thought, well, that's a nice girl, but normally my first thing in my mind would be, well, she doesn't like me, and but this time I thought maybe, and I called my sponsor, and he said, well, you just contact her, make an appointment, and I'll hear from you when the appointment is, and he hang up. I thought, fuck, but well, I did, and today we are here together. Well, as I mentioned before, my parents both passed away. We have an island here in Holland called Texel. That's we put the ashes in the sea. So my step 9 was on the beach. I asked my sponsor, how can I do a step 9 with my parents? He said, well, I have no experience with that, but I have a phone number from a fellow who has. Maybe you can call him. So I did. And I wrote a letter and read it out loud. But I think that, today maybe the last part of my step 9. Because today, it's exactly 9 years ago, my mom passed away. She's never seen me sober, but I'm pretty sure she's looking now. And that's where I will leave it from now. Thank you.